Well, welcome everyone to the Dr. S Mind, Body, Soul, What is Your Truth? And I want to say Happy New Year here live, Las Vegas. This is the first Dr. S show on 2018. So I'm so excited it's the first show. And I'm more super excited because I have a dear friend, a colleague, and now an author here live in the studio as my first show to present to you guys, because tonight it's all about you. And I am so proud to have in the studio tonight my dear friend, Dr. Cynthia. So welcome to being in the studio.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of her because she has done work beyond work, because we are going to talk about her book. And it's called It's All About You. And it says A Guide to Good Mental Health and Wellness. And you know, here on the Dr. S show, this is what I talk about your soul, who you are, your well-being, and how do you connect to that. And people don't know how to do that, you know?
Right.
And it gets very frustrating. And one of the reasons why I'm loving this is that you wrote this book. We now have a resource in our hands of saying, sometimes people face depression. Sometimes people face, disappointments and things, and they allow these things to be that speed bump on their journey of where they are. And if anybody knows anything about journeys, I think we do.
Yes, we do.
We've done a journey that has been phenomenal. So I am so happy to say that you're here in the studio. And I want to just say that when we are talking about our good wellness of mental health, that we are talking about our physical side, not our spiritual, our soul side, but our physical side is just as important.
Yes, it is.
So she has some really good topics. I was digging in her book and I said, my goodness, I'm like, this is some good stuff that we need to talk about. And so one of the things that she talks about is the misconceptions. What are some of Dr. Cynthia, what are some of the misconceptions that people have about mental health? Just on a flat line of that.
Well, one of the biggest is that you have to be really crazy in order to get help. And so that is a complete misconception. It's not true.
Right.
And first of all, I don't like the word crazy, but people think that you really have to always have a psychotic episode.
Right.
And then you can actually go see a therapist. But there's so many things in life that we just need someone who can be objective to talk to. And so sometimes we may be experiencing different things, loss through death, or even a non-death loss, and different things that come up in life that we just don't quite know how to handle. And so if you have a resource, somebody that you can actually speak to, that's what getting help is. And it's not to do anything to you or make you do something that you don't want to do. It's really having someone help you go through the process and work
and
through
going
it.
through the process with that is even like what I talk about as well on here on the show, is saying that, you know what, you got to connect to yourself. You got to say, I need help.
Absolutely.
I can't do this by myself.
And it's okay to do that.
Yes, because I do that all the time. If it's not something with my mental health, I can't do something with my show. I don't know how to do something in my house or whatever it is. Universe, I need help.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's like asking for help. So, and the thing is, I want to just show it again. It's just like saying, this is Dr. Cynthia's book. She wrote and did this. I was with her. And it's all about you. And before we go further, though, I do want to say, how can they find your book? If they want, they're like, you know what, I need something like this, because we're going to go further in the book of what she has in here. But where can they, right off the bat, right now, I want to say, where can they get your book?
There's actually 4 ways to get the book: through my website, and it's drcynthiamha.net.
Okay.
Also, balboapress.com and barnesandnoble.com, and also Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. All right, so then go there, and if you want, and it's not hard reading. That's another thing I love about this. It's very simple, easy reading, and it's not hard. It's not long chapters, 500 pages to a chapter. It's to the point, quick, easy, understandable stuff that you're not like, what am I reading? I don't know. No, you will resonate with everything in the book. And I know I did, because I read the book in just like 2 days. It was that easy. It was like, oh my
Good.
God, look at this, look at this, look at this. You know, oh my God, this is so true. This is so true. And so as counselors that we do, that we understand certain things of good wellness, mental health, it is that, you know, these techniques are not hard. You know what I mean? And like right here in the book, you did, one of them I love is one of the chapters, you did how to balance your life for well-being. Now, give me something that we can do to balance out our lives so that we can have good well-being.
Well, one of the things that individuals do, we get caught up because we're multitaskers here in the United States, and so we do many things at once. But a lot of times we get caught up, and we're not really realizing how we're putting our physical and mental well-being on the back burner just to get all the things that we need to do done. And so, you know, it really does take reflection and looking at what's priority. So first of all, prioritize, because some things maybe might be able to wait a little bit, and sometimes, you know, you have to get them done. But sometimes you just actually have to say no, and that is difficult for individuals.
Absolutely.
And so prioritizing and what's important, because you have to have a balance with work and your family, and if you don't, then something's going to suffer. And so if you're the workaholic or you're putting that first, then certainly your family's going to suffer. But then physically, how do you feel? Because when you're overworked like that, what happens?
Right.
Your body gets tired. Your outlook is not as positive
clear.
as it should be. So there's a lot of things. So you really have to just step back and look at your life and determine what's really important, what absolutely has to get done at this point, and what you can actually leave a little bit later. But self-care, because when you're working like that, you're not really thinking about taking care of self. And so, you know, sometimes you just have to take a step back. And so if that means you're going to take some time to go work out and take some time for your spiritual journey or whatever it is, I mean, those types of things are also important that need to be incorporated in our daily lives.
Absolutely. And that's what I love. In the back of her book, she has a worksheet with questions that you can answer and do. And one of them, a section here, is about your spiritual life. And that's what I love. Why we connect so well too is because that's exactly right. And the things that she was saying, everything that she just said now, what the common denominator was, how do you feel? And I'm telling you, I did this whole week like this. I was doing things, and even today, I'm saying, how do I feel? I had a schedule of how I want to do everything, but one thing led to another thing and didn't go my way. I stopped and said, okay, how do you feel? And I was like, okay, I'm good. I can adjust, I can shift, I can do. And the reason, I mean, to the split second, all the way up getting to the studio today, I was doing things and it didn't go exactly to my schedule.
Right.
So because I allowed myself not to get stressed out or to feel like, oh my God, it's out of my control. Guess what? If it was out of my control, guess what I did? I went like this. Well, I'm just going to be patient because I can't do nothing about it.
That's right.
I'm not going to own that energy. I'm not going to own that like craziness and that like anxiety and go, oh my God.
Right.
Because I can't control it.
Yes.
Now, I like to think that I control these things.
Of course.
But not all the time. So I learned that when you're doing that, and even on the spiritual end, a physical and emotional, that, you know, it's okay that, you know what, we're not going to do everything that we need to do, right? And you agree with that?
Yes.
Saying that we don't get everything done.
That's right.
In one day that you might have scheduled. Because things pop up.
Yeah.
Things happen. Life happens.
Flexibility is extremely important.
But I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you, what was your personal oomph that said, I have a book in me and I need to tell the world, I need to share it with the world to say, I need to get this word out because people need to know this. What was that for you?
Well, there's several things, but one goes back to starting my doctoral studies, and I wanted to write that book but when I went into the profession, because, you know, we have our masters in counseling as well.
Right.
And so when I changed my course of study, and I said that I was going to go into counseling and study mental health, I got a lot of reactions, maybe not so positive, because with mental health, there comes a lot of fear.
Right.
And so people were just didn't really know how to take me and just thought that I was going to analyze them every second, which, I mean, I don't have time for that. But
No, we don't.
But it was because of the responses that I got that led me to know that people just don't understand what mental health is all about. And so that's why I had to write the book. And then also, when individuals are studying or researching, oftentimes it's in such clinical terms
yeah.
and terminology that they don't really understand it. So
Or
I
that,
wanted
I think
to.
that adds more fear to it.
It adds
when you
more
hear
fear,
that kind of
yes,
stuff, you're
yes.
like, what do I have? What's wrong with me?
Right.
And so
Right.
it's
And-
like, oh my God, what did he just say to me?
Yeah. And so I wanted to write it in a way that everybody
this
could
is-
understand.
And this is everything is simple words. It was just like where you, even if within the state of mind that you're at, and sometimes mostly it's at a low, you're just depressed, you're not wanting to do anything, you don't have the inspiration to even go to the front door,
Yes.
let alone get in your car and say, hey, I need help, can you help me? It's just good to have this kind of knowledge
Right.
of people having understanding, because even like what I do is touching people and saying with their souls and saying, what is your truth? Who are you? They get like, what do you mean? What am I?
Yeah.
Immediately they'd say their name, or they'll tell me their culture, or they'll give me their religion belief. I'm like, no, that's not who you are. Those are structures. Those are like just things that you have in your life.
Yes.
But who are you?
Yeah.
And so I just sit there and I laugh. So having these kinds of tools of what we can reach out to and keeping it simple.
Absolutely.
I know myself the different things that we do. And the thing is, when it's like all complicated and there's like so many things going on, and it's like, what? Like, why does this have to be so hard? And I learned, though, this is what I learned. I learned when you stay in supernatural, and everything that comes to you comes at ease. And that is how you know you're walking in supernatural. So with mental health, your well-being, your soul, your spirituality, who you are. If you are walking in the higher supernatural level, anything you do, everything will just be a touch of finger. It just comes to you. And I can tell you stories and excitement and things that I've experienced that. I mean, I know you have experienced that as well. Where it just comes and they just offer it to you like this, and it just drops in your lap, and you're like, where'd this come from?
Yes.
Who knew? How did that happen? And that's what gets me so super excited. And then just say that, you know what? That's what was with your book. I know the journey that you took to get here,
Yes, you
and
do.
what have you, but then it just came and it's just here. And it's here for everyone, right?
Yes,
What
it
would you
is.
say that the best thing, like when they get to the last page and they're done reading the book, what is the thought, the feeling that you want them to say, you know what, I got to give this to so-and-so. They're going to enjoy this. What is that feeling that you want them to have when you're talking after reading your book?
Well, I want them to be more knowledgeable, and also I want the fear to be hopefully taken away, because that is the one thing that stops individuals from actually seeking help. So taking that fear away, also understanding that there is recovery. Oftentimes most of the time there's recovery
Right.
with mental health concerns if you're willing to work through the process, work through it, do the work that it takes for healing. And so once they feel empowered, and that's what I'm hoping that this book does, they feel empowered enough that they actually will take that step to seek out help. Then it's time to pass it on so somebody else can get that understanding, somebody else can get that feeling that they have. So my hope is to feel empowered to actually reach out and get help.
Okay. My question I have is, what would you say for someone who just got news of something, of somewhat of devastation, possibly a disease that they may have, a mental health type of issue they may have, and they're just like, they're so focused on that. How would you say, like, would be a good way to say, okay, that is a situation, but it doesn't mean that you have to feed into it. You don't have to give it life, so to speak, and rise above. how would you say within your book, like what tools can they do to get there?
Well, I do talk about changing my mindsets in the book, and because if you're going to focus on the negative and think negative, and everything you do is negative, then the outcome is going to be negative. So it really is the way that you address it that makes a big difference. And so if you're going to look at things as doom, and I know that sometimes things are extremely difficult and challenging, but it's all in the way that you handle it that makes the difference.
Right.
So what outcome do you want? How would you like to see it happen or be resolved? What would you want to happen? So then how are you going to, or what steps are you going to take to actually make that happen?
Make that feel better, though, for you.
And yeah, to make it feel better. And then sometimes maybe you don't know. Well, then that's when you reach out for help.
And say that help for that.
But the most important thing is everything doesn't have to be catastrophic, and it doesn't have to be a death sentence, or, it actually can work out. Over. But if you give up before you even get started, how will you ever know?
Right, exactly. But I wanted to say, I am so happy that you're in the studio, because we are doing this live here in Las Vegas, and I'm looking on the live stream, and I have it right here, and I see some of the friends, Michelle, Marie, and Diane, and Tracelyn, and Jim. Everybody's in the room. I just want to say, hey, I'm so happy that you're joining in. It's like we're in our own living room or something, and our family's coming knocking on the door, and they're peeking in watching at us, right? So I just want to say that we enjoy that you guys are doing this, and I enjoy doing this as well, using this live stream like this and letting people know information at our fingertips like this, because I mean, back in the day, you didn't know when you were put in certain situations, it was like just eons of information that you had to go and search out and look for and find the person that would know about it, and making sure that you're going on the right way. But now here, with technology, that's so phenomenal, right?
It's wonderful.
And
it really is.
And able to do this live stream. And I'm here in the studio with WCOBM here in Las Vegas, and this is what's making our issues come to life. This is how I am literally saying, here, this is for you, at just a fingertip, a button away, just signing in. So I just like the fact that we have this at our fingertips. And then as far as Dr. S, Mind, Body, Soul, right? We know what is your truth, right? So now we have that combined with you of tonight's show. It's all about you. Tell them again, where can we get this again?
At my website, and it's drcynthia.mha.net. Also balboapress.com, barnesandnoble.com, and also amazon.com. And there's 3 formats, so it's even in ebook format.
All right, so that's everything to do. And I want to say the same thing. You want to email me, go to drslvenv@yahoo.com. I love your emails because I have my weekly talk radio show. So I just love, so go to my website, drsmindbodysoul.com. Click on radio, 11 a.m. Pacific time, and you can hear me live in the studio there. And I do a lot of one-on-one and talk with people, but I love the emails that I get and the responses. And I love when I get responses about this right here, what we're doing right now. I get so excited. Like, it's to the point where I can be so exhausted of my day. But when I get in the studio, I don't know, it just comes to life. And
Recharged.
I just get recharged, you know? And that's how we say, like, that is one of the steps of good mental health, of bringing yourself on those different levels, of saying that, okay, this is not good right now. I'm not feeling it. What are we doing? What are we doing, Dr. Cynthia? Where are we going?
Yes.
And then you're able to do something and hear this. But I do want to give a little moment for you. We have a little time, and I just want to say I really admire your acknowledgments and the inspiration of your acknowledgement that you did for you and your family and the dedication. So I would like you to share that with us, a piece to our audience on who you dedicated your book to.
Well, I dedicated my book to my son Adrian, which his story is in that book also.
Yep, it is.
And also, just to let everybody know that one of the things that was very important to me is to share my experience. Because everybody has mental health. Every human being on the planet has mental health. And sometimes we go through some things that are challenging. And so my son came through something that was extremely challenging. And for me, as the mom that was helpless or felt helpless in this situation, but I had to be strong for him. So he came through it through the grace of God. He came through it, and he's doing really well. But talk about mental health issues. Talk about depression and anxiety and anger and frustration and all of that. So I lived it. And so that's the other thing is I'm not writing a book on something that I haven't experienced.
Exactly.
And so I'm not saying anything or telling individuals something that I don't know about personally.
Right.
So, but yes, he is the most wonderful child that a mom could
Son of
have.
all sons. But my mother would say the same about me.
Yes, she would. She surely
She's
would.
watching right
She
now,
surely
so
would.
she's one of my biggest fans. But no, that's so true. And I'm not going to tell you what the story is. It is a very good story, that the connection of mother and son and what she went through, and it's in her book. And so All About You by Dr. Cynthia Rapanzini, and you can look that up, and like she told you, Barnes, Amazon, or go to her website, and you will see that story. And it's like many of us have these bonds in our lives. We're attached to someone, some type of closeness and things that when you go through these life experiences, it is sometimes the most devastating.
Yes.
And you just want to shut everything out. You don't want to listen to nobody, and you just want to put yourself in a hole and just be like, this is ridiculous. So it's just like saying, okay, you know what? We're going to always have something. As the Dr. S show, I want to say that I always want to have something, the tool to give away. And this is what we're doing. We're giving this away. This is not something that you have to go and buy. We're giving you tools right now and saying that. But I also love that we have more people joining the room. Sonia Williams, hi Sonia, Natalie Perrone. These are all good friends all over the country right now are tuning in. So I want to just say thank you so much for that. And we're here every month. The Dr. S Mind, Body, Soul, What is Your Truth is here every third Monday of the month, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm just want to tell you that if you ever have anything that you want to talk about or send me, I'll be willing to do that. Bring on guests like Dr. Cynthia, people who know what it is that what we want to talk about. And again, we're not just bringing anything that we don't know we're talking about. We're bringing experts into the field. She's an expert of the field of this mental health. That's why she has this book. That's why she has her accreditations of her degrees. So this is what I'm doing with the Dr. S show. I want to give you first class, top notch of topics that we need to deal with, that we deal with every day. So, we're coming to time. I tell you, this goes by so fast. But if there's one thing you say to someone that's listening, what would be the one thing you would say to them?
I would say that we can no longer deny our mental illness, or if we're having problems, mental health concerns. We can no longer do that. Life is so short to suffer and to live in confusion and all that goes along with that, with mental illness. And so I would say to take that first step, don't listen to what others say. Don't listen to the negativity. You take the first step and reach out and get help, because many, many, many times there is recovery. And so please keep that in mind. Do the work that's necessary, get the help that you need, and you're going to feel so much better. And it'll add so much to your life and make you more fulfilled in your life.
Well, that is so true. And I'm so excited that you were here and you did the pre-premiere portion of your book, getting out there. And so I'm so happy. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Well,
and again,
thank you.
Oh, anytime.
Thank you very much.
I just want to say that I also want to thank everyone for 2018. Let's make this a great year. Tune in every month here. You'll see me live. I'm going to see the notifications and everyone here. And I just want to say hello to everyone that's signed in.
Hello.
And I just want to thank you. And everything is just going to be so great in 2018 that you're just going to see me busting for joy. You're going to see me all over, bringing people in and just doing all different kinds of platforms because this is what 2018 is about.
Yeah.
And I'm like so supercharged right now, but the time is coming to the end. So I just want to say, thank you so much. I enjoyed this evening. Always remember, it's all about you. And that is what's going to make 2018 different from any other year. Start worrying about you, doing for you first, and then others will come. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thank you for joining us live, and I'll see you next time.